PRC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
This is the afternoon Weather Extreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 23rd day of September. James Spann here, and more fantastic weather for Alabama. Interesting weather for the east coast of the United States over the next week. Let's go right to some Skycam shots this afternoon, and we will talk about it. We'll begin with the look at the view there coming from Cullman. The waters of Lake Catoma, as seen from the Skycam, looks like the levels are coming down a little bit after the good rains back in August from Fay. Has been pretty dry of late. Way down south, the Gulf Shore Skycam coming from the top of the Phoenix All Suites. Looking back off to the west, a brilliantly sunny early fall day. Wonderful. And from Tuscaloosa, weather looking good. That's the view looking east from the top of the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse. You can see the steeple of First Baptist Church. And off in the distance, Bryant-Denny Stadium and DCH Regional Medical Center. Nice and dry, quiet across the deep south. A nice trough over the northern plains. Look at temperatures this afternoon, mostly low and mid-80s around here, what we'd expect, with cooler air over the northwest and the northeast U.S. Nights, by the way, getting progressively cooler. Will be down in the mid-50s tomorrow morning, maybe low 50s by early Thursday. That'll feel good. Rain, nothing. This is valid through Sunday morning at 7 o'clock. This is suggesting no rain at all. That is currently reflected in our ongoing forecast with all of the action on the Atlantic seaboard, all the way from really the Carolinas on north with really two systems, a little rogue system that will be impacting them the next couple of days, and perhaps Tropical Storm Kyle down the line. In fact, there's a look at our tropical system, really southwest of Puerto Rico and southeast of Hispaniola. It's had a hard time getting its act together, but the winds aloft are lighter, and more than likely that should become Tropical Storm Kyle in time. Most all of the models move Kyle north. It's pretty much got to go that way. It's the only escape route, and some of the models bring it into the New England coast. Some leave it offshore as a fish, and determining exactly where this thing goes, it's hard to do in the early stage of the game, but certainly everybody on the New England coast has to be aware at least of the potential of a tropical system up there this weekend. Let's look at the GFS. This is tomorrow at 1 o'clock at 500 millibars. Shortwave rotating up into Canada. Of course, not impacting us down around here. Just another beautiful day. Sunny with a cool morning, a mild afternoon, a warm afternoon. Thursday, the same deal. There's that rogue low setting up on the coast of the Carolinas, and that thing's going to produce a very significant onshore flow over North Carolina and Virginia back up toward Chesapeake Bay. And that could bring gale force winds and maybe some coastal flooding, maybe even some power outages. The GFDL giving us the same idea. In fact, really, it downplays what could be Kyle and really this time upplays our system on the coast there. Not a classic tropical system, but a hybrid. So very wet and windy for the mid-Atlantic coast on Thursday. Friday, you've got a weaker tropical system that would be Kyle coming north. And again, some moisture tries to back in here from the east as far west as Gatlinburg and maybe the mountains of northeastern Georgia, but it never makes it. And then Saturday, we stay dry. The tropical system on this run of the GFS stays a little offshore, bypassing Long Island just off to the east. And then Sunday, it kind of comes up into the Canadian Maritimes without really making landfall over New England. More of a problem for the Canadian folks. But again, every run is looking different, and certainly just be aware that if you are in New England, places like Providence and Boston, that you might have the threat of some type of tropical cyclone this weekend. And again, around here, the weather looks good for Sunday. Monday of next week, dry as a bone. Tuesday, hey, check out that strong shortwave energy diving south, and by Wednesday of next week, the 1st of October, we got a trough over the east. Now, on this run, the GFS closes off the low near Buffalo, New York, instead of closing off near Chattanooga, Tennessee, like we saw last night. So, it's your typical model madness 7 days in advance, but one way or the other, that should deliver the coolest air so far this season in about 8 days from now. And at the end of the cycle, end of the period on the 9th of October, look at that, very deep upper low and trough over the nation's midsection there. That looks like a big October snowstorm for Milwaukee and Chicago. Come on now. With very cool air down in here. So it looks like as we get into October, the days will indeed be getting progressively cooler. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.